My name is Crystal Scott, and I'm with Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, and I'm excited that you're joining us today. Really looking forward to a very special guest, our new CEO, Sam Young. We are going to talk a little bit about a lot, and later in the episode we have Clay Copeland. He's the director of our Restore, so I am thankful that you have joined us today. And I know that we have a lot to cover, a lot going on. This is our 40th anniversary. We just closed on our 1400th home, and lots of stuff is happening at Pensacola Habitat. So my first question to you is, what excites you the most about our upcoming year?
I think it's going to be a year of transition. We have a lot of support for the mission at hand, and we've put together a very aggressive budget for this year, both in expenditures and production. We think that we're going to exceed building over 50 homes this year, which is more than double than what we've been traditionally doing. And as everybody I think is aware, there's a tremendous demand out there for affordable homes and for quality homes. And we are going to do our part in meeting that demand.
So you mentioned a tremendous budget. So how does our budget and our production differ from previous years? And what would you like our viewers to know about how they can support our mission of building homes, communities, and hope?
Well, the budget is a result of a lot of work of the staff and the board. And we've all collectively decided that it's time for us to increase that budget, and we have one that is probably going to exceed $10 million this year, which will allow us to build over 50 homes, serve not only those 50 families, but also a significant contribution into the neighborhoods and the community at large, and sustainability of homes for existing homeowners. The community development portion will include everything from building wheelchair ramps to allowing people to age in place. There's a lot of Sally damage that remains even today, and we have resources that are allocated towards those repairs. So there's clearly more demand out there than resources available, but we're doing our best to meet the demand with the resources we have.
Great. Talk about partnerships and how important that is going to be for us in the upcoming year. Talk about some of your partnerships with the bank initiatives that we have, partnerships with businesses. How can businesses in our area support our mission?
Well, that's a big question. We are partnering with some local banks, specifically Central Credit and Penn Air. They have both made a commitment to help fund our mortgages for our homeowners, and that is significant. That's what partially responsible for allowing us to increase the production at the scale that we intend to do. The partnerships in the community stretch from faith-based organizations, businesses, municipalities. We have a growing partnership with Escambia County. As a matter of fact, we are going to build some homes on some land that they have provided us for workforce housing. Pensacola continues to be very interested in supporting Pensacola Habitat as we look for opportunities inside the city to add to their affordable housing inventory. And individuals, volunteers are a giant component of our organization, and I'm not sure that we would be able to do anything that we do without the volunteer support that we get day in and day out.
So, affordable housing, you hear it, it's a buzzword everywhere. It's everywhere in the paper. It's been identified as a problem, not just here locally, but across the nation. And out of 1,100 affiliates, Pensacola Habitat is 25th largest. And so even though we are large and mighty, we have recognized that we're not going to be able to do this alone. So,
No, clearly. And like I alluded to earlier, the county has become a really important partner of ours. They They are working with us to provide lien relief on some properties that we are able to get our hands on. They are helping us facilitate HUD funding that supports the families that we're putting into our homes. They are identifying some property that is in their inventory that they want to allocate towards affordable housing. So the partnership with Escambia County is critical, and it's growing, and we're really happy with the direction that we're going with them.
You talked a little bit about community development and the community development program. You mentioned wheelchair ramps, but homeownership preservation is really the main goal for that program. So of all of the, I guess, partnerships that we could form, are there any partnerships that you could think of that might be natural to support community development?
You know what? Any volunteer partnership would be extremely helpful. You know, we've got the materials, we've got the demand, but if we could have additional organizations or individuals to support those type of projects, that would be extremely helpful. And then we've also got companies that we're talking to who want to make their philanthropic effort help engage in those community development and the affordable home projects that we do as well.
Because you can't really drive anywhere in our service area, which, by the way, is Escambia and Santa Rosa County. You can't go anywhere without looking around and recognizing a house that may need some assistance, and critical home repair has become crucial for our area in particular because of the aging infrastructure. So we're looking forward to growth in that program for sure. So being on the job a little less than a year, and relatively new as a staff person in the nonprofit world, what would you say is the community's biggest misconception about Pensacola Habitat?
I think the two that I have come across most often is one, that how our homes are delivered to our home buyers, and they are buyers. We supplement the purchase through low interest mortgages. We actually have a portion of the mortgage that has zero interest and does not amortize. But these individuals or families, they purchase their homes. They provide sweat equity in the build process. They go through a curriculum that is designed to make them successful long-term homeowners. But they, at the end of the day, they have to make a mortgage payment just like everybody else. I think the other misconception that I run into regularly is the quality of our homes. It has changed dramatically over the last 5, 6, 7 years. In fact, as you're aware, we have won the Parade of Homes category for, I think, under $250,000 on a couple of occasions. The homes that we build now blend into the neighborhoods, and I think the misconception is people can no longer identify a home that's a Pensacola Habitat home. One that we build blends into the neighborhoods, and they are of quality, they are attractive, and our homeowners are extremely proud of the homes that we partner with.
Because used to, our old plan, our old model was, while it was very efficient, it was very recognizable. You could drive down the road and identify it. That's a home that Habitat built, blah, blah, blah. So I think that what you just pointed out is very interesting, and I would encourage our viewers that if you want to see a house that we have built lately, I would encourage a tour. We have staff people who can assist with tours because we want more people to know what we're building. And we compete with, I guess, the facade of the exterior with other builders, and it's exciting. And you can see it in our home buyers for sure. So we have a little bit of time left before break, but I wanted to see if there's anything else that you would like to add, maybe about other ways that the community can assist us.
Well, I think I would just like to leave them with the thought that, Our organization is nothing more than a reflection of the community in which we live and serve. And, our success or, our failure is the result of the support that we get from our municipalities, from our business partners, from our faith-based partners, and just from our volunteers at large. And it is that support that has allowed us to grow to a significant organization. Like you said, right now we're, I think, ranked 25th in the country. And I think in the next year or two, we're probably going to tickle into the top 10 the way that we're going. So our success is a reflection of the commitment of the community. And we, number one, we deeply appreciate that commitment. And two, we ask that you continue looking for opportunities to support Pensacola Habitat, because your support of Pensacola Habitat is truly a support for your neighbors, for your friends, and for the community at large. So thank you. We're really grateful for that support.
For sure. And every time that I'm out in the community talking about what I do, everybody has a Habitat story, whether it's with our affiliate or with a different affiliate across the country. My mother had a house built by Habitat. I volunteered elsewhere. I volunteered with you. And so we would really invite you to come and find your Pensacola Habitat moment because it is one that's truly memorable and very impactful for, again, our neighbors and friends. So with that, we will go to break, and I appreciate you being here very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
We'll be right back after the break.
Since 1981, we've built more than 1,300 homes in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. Love built this home, and love keeps it. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
COVID-19 has changed how we hang with our girls. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to girls tripping instead of solo sipping. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe? Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
My biggest concern was my daughter's safety.
I wasn't gonna invite people over when I saw what their homes looked like. I didn't know where I was gonna go, what I was gonna do.
We're in darkness, but there's always a little bit of light, and if people help, the light becomes greater.
Just walking into that house was the beginning of a different life.
Find your place to call home? Get started with Pensacola Habitat for Humanity. Call us today.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed that commercial break. With me now is exciting new guest, Clay Copeland. We are going to talk a little bit, a lot about our Pensacola Habitat for Humanity Restore. So Clay, thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
I know this is probably not your favorite thing, but it is important.
It's important
to tell our community a little bit about what the Pensacola Habitat Restore is and how it's connected with our mission and all of those things. So I guess what I would ask is, what do you guys have going on up there on 9th and Creighton? Where are you located? And talk a little bit about the donation.
Okay, we're at 6931 North 9th Avenue in the Eastgate Shopping Plaza, kind of in the corner next to the Winn-Dixie.
How long have you been there?
So we've been there, I'll say we, because I've only been there for about a year and a half, but we've been in that location since 2018, and it is a great spot.
Nice.
As you know,
It's
the parking lot is always full, right?
Absolutely.
And so benefit of being next to the fitness center
Yes.
and all that's going on over there right now. So, but what do? So we sell new and like new and just in really good condition. Appliances and furniture and home decor and building materials. And if you had to ask me what we sell the most of or what we need maybe right now is we're always looking for gently used couches and bedding, bed frames. And so being kind of close to the college and north, on North 9th Avenue like that, we just can't seem to keep couches in stock.
Yeah, and I can imagine with all of the college students, headed back to school, and I can imagine that those would fly off the shelf. So the Pensacola Habitat Restore serves twofold, right? So it's a retail service, but the Restore exists as an additional revenue stream for your local Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, which builds homes, communities, and hope. So you can not only feel fantastic about shopping there, but you can also get excellent deals on all kinds of things. So talk a little bit about some things that our viewers may not know that you sell.
Okay. So yes, to your point, we're experiencing a retail market right now where everything is probably costing more than it ever has before, especially building materials, especially furniture, because those things some of them are shipped in from overseas and are really hard to get right now. So by shopping at the Restore, you're going to cash in on extremely good deals on a plethora of building materials. I mean, we get sheetrock and plywood and trim mold. What we're especially heavy on right now is cabinetry. We have 3 or 4 really great local cabinet vendors that if they're at a job site and they find that they're removing great condition cabinets, they don't even go back to the warehouse. They come straight by the Restore. And let me tell you, that's a big benefit to them because they don't have to go to the landfill. They don't have to warehouse them. They just make us on their route and they deliver the cabinetry to us.
Wow. So if you're a contractor watching this and you come across anything that's in excellent condition, we would love to have your donation. So you mentioned building materials.
Yes.
Examples.
So, and I don't want to leave out my donors because we get from both individual and business donors alike, all locally resourced, but we have some great big box donors, Lowe's and Home Depot, and a multitude of smaller entities, smaller businesses. But what we're getting a lot of right now are doors and windows, and that's a tremendous benefit to us because as people are preparing for storms and still recovering from Sally, to be honest, they're finding that they need, good quality doors and windows. The things that we're getting are really brand new items that are coming from where they've had returns or overstocked or slight blemishes. So doors and windows, and then flooring, and I do want to make a note on that. We do purchase a smaller portion of our commodities, and so we're purchasing flooring and paint, and what else? We're buying mattresses, and these things that we're buying, I've got to check myself sometimes and make sure that I'm selling them at the right price because they will not stay on the shelf. You know this from the mattresses. We'll get a truckload of mattresses on a day, and then 3 days later, we're looking for the king-size mattresses because they're all gone. Paint, we're selling paint for $15 and $16 a gallon. You can't buy paint like that right now in the area.
And paint is very expensive right now, as well as all of building materials, so I appreciate that you pointed that out. So how critical are these partnerships that you have formed with the big box that you mentioned, but also with some of our local contractors? How critical is that for your business?
Absolutely imperative, because there again, our purchase goods are only a very small part of what we're selling. So our individual businesses and corporate businesses alike, they basically equated to about $1 million in retail sales last year. And once again, every ounce of that profit line goes back to building our mission of building affordable homes.
Right, and we appreciate that revenue stream more than you know it. And we heard from Sam earlier about our aggressive goals, and supporting the Restore is just one way that our community can rally behind what it is that you guys have got going on. So when I'm out and about in the community and I'm talking about the store, I hear a lot of people compare, oh, well, isn't that a thrift store? So talk to me about what differentiates you from some of the other thrift type
So,
stores.
and unlike much of the other thrift stores in the community. We do not take clothing, so we do not take in or sell clothing. We do not take in bedding or linen of any kind. We do not take used mattresses. We do not take baby toys. So there are some very specific things that as a thrift store, we just don't take. We really geared ourselves toward building materials and home remodeling type aspects, and then of course to the furniture and the appliances. Just today alone, we got a tractor trailer load of appliances donated. All
exciting.
No fee to no expense to us. So naturally, all the profit from that goes to building homes.
Amazing. And how great are the volunteers who have been coming out, helping you out in the store? And what, if we have viewers that may be interested in volunteering over at the store, what are some things that they can expect?
So the volunteers, I got to tell you, are a critical part of my business. Just as every other, retail store, restaurant, anything in the service industry is struggling right now to have good quality labor pools, our volunteers are critical to me. And I've got to say, they come from all walks of life. I mean, I have a retired engineer, Joe, and the man is instrumental to me because he fixes appliances and engines and rebuilds missing legs from furniture. I mean, he's amazing. But also we have retired moms, we have college kids that need to get the for the Bright Future Scholarship, need to get the volunteer hours. I mean, we have an amazing group of volunteers. But I say all that to say that I want to continue to grow that group of volunteers because we're really stretching our arms around some new things going on in the community. The demo projects.
Right.
So should I speak to that?
Please do, because a lot of people don't understand that is even an option. And, especially in this community, I talked earlier about the aging infrastructure, and there are a lot of teardowns that are happening, and a lot of folks don't really realize that we have a need for the things that they might just be getting rid of. And so, yes, please tell us a little bit more about that.
So you don't have to drive around much around our communities to recognize the large dump trucks with the both natural and made building materials, houses that have been torn down, taking them to the dump. And so where I'm going with this is we're out of land almost in our local area. We're not making any more, so we're having to tear down existing structures to rebuild and build upon new homes. So when you're tearing those down, I just speak to our community here and say, think of us first. We'll come in and we'll help you demo out some of the valuable things. You'll get to save all those tons of goods from the landfill. I think we're saving 300 to 400 tons annually, diverting them from the landfill and restoring them and selling them to people that have a need. So where I'm going with this is we really need a volunteer base that's either handy with some basic hand tools or has a working knowledge of home construction or demolition in this case, to come in and form a little group of people that I can have go out and help me take down some of these projects.
Cool. Very, very cool. And all donations that you accept, these are tax deductible donations?
Everything that you donate, absolutely 100% tax deductible. Gosh, I'll tell you what, these guys, some of them, they don't want receipts, but I've had receipts, you'd think they were a mile long of things. We annotate every absolute detail on there, and you get 100%, well, you get your tax deduction.
Right, absolutely, and that's important, I think, for this audience as well, because we want for people to know that, not only will we reap the benefits, will our community members reap the benefits, but you can get your tax deductible donation as well. So, what is the biggest, this is shocking, this is going to be something that wasn't prepared, but what in your time here, what do you think has been the most aha about your position and about how supportive our community truly is about Pensacola Habitat's mission?
The aha is simply this. I've been shocked at the vast and the incredible amount of donations that some people have and are willing to give. I mean, we have institutions that, Sacred Heart Hospital, not to name anybody, but gave us 5 floors of office desks and computers and all the weighing scales from the doctor's, examinations rooms and just 5 stories of good resellable items. So I've been just absolutely blown away at the attention that we're getting, the organization that you've built around Pensacola Habitat for Humanity of giving, and just the team of people that are willing to come out and help me unload these things.
Yeah, and I have to say again, Pensacola is kind of, I've lived in other places, and the community that we have here and the willingness and the realization, people recognize the need for affordable home ownership. And so I think that the outpouring of support is perfect, and I appreciate you mentioning that. So we have a new way that you can schedule pickups.
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Absolutely. So in our new, new normal, as they put it, new changed world we live in, we've had to improvise, innovate a little bit, and create more of a touchless, contactless way to get out and get these things. And once again, our pickup services are absolutely free, but we wanted to create a way that was less effort on the donor. So now we have an online scheduler. You can go to PensacolaHabitat.org, and there's a Donate Now button, and you can go right there and click on that, and online, without ever leaving the comfy seat of your home, right? You can schedule for us to come out and pick up, and we'll make it as contactless as we possibly can. If you want to set it on the curb, set it on the porch, we'll come in and get it. But otherwise, we're fully prepared to come in your home using protective measures and the masks and all, and come in and get those things for you. But it takes almost absolutely no effort to get these things picked up.
Amazing. I love that. All right. Well, Clay, I appreciate you being here so very much, and I appreciate you guys joining us. And I am looking forward to seeing you all either out on a build site, out at our restore. Join us in our mission, again, to build homes, communities, and hope.